Strap in and be prepared.
Maybe I'll learn from your failures.
That is what you could do.
Yeah.
Interesting guests.
Kelly Graves, Mike Parker, Josh Pate, George Reiser, Ryan Lee, Yogi Roth, who said that Justin and I are smart.
Sharp opinions.
I think Dan Lanning sitting in his office going, you know what, fine, give us the toughest road to win the national championship. That's what it should be.
Oregon State in their baseball program is still operating from a position of strength, even if they're independent. But here they are in the College World Series.
And some smiles.
It's iconic.
We're not keeping score, but maybe we're keeping score.
The fastest 60 minutes in sports is on the air. It's Danny Havel.
When I wake up every morning, I say to myself, what can I do to make Baby J's life better today?
Justin Grossweiler.
Have I ever told you, Danny, that growing up I really loved ducks?
Danny and Justin starts now on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport.
Hello, neighbors, and welcome high atop the Delta Triad, the Crystal Palace of the Bigfoot Beverages Studios in Eugene and Newport. This is the fastest 60 minutes in sports talk. It is the Danny and Justin radio program. Thanks for lending us your ears for the next hour. We are jam-packed to the gills. We're going to be getting right to it here in a moment with Jared Mack, and then Brian Jenson, the voice of Texas Tech, will join us, talk a little Red Raider football and their upcoming matchup in the late September with Oregon State. You can listen to us live like you're doing right now on 102.9 FM, 1050 AM in the Willamette Valley, out on the coast at 92.7 FM. That's in Newport. Thanks to all those folks who are really flocking towards us. Also, you can, if you do not catch us live, you can do it on the pod. Danny and Justin. You also can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Danny and Justin. I'm Danny Howell. Right over there is my tag team partner, Justin Grosser. We call him Baby J. What up, boy?
Well, first of all, Danny, happy birthday. I hope you have your singing voice ready today because we're going to be at PK Park singing the seventh inning stretch of the Emeralds game tonight. I'm really excited about that.
I am too. It's going to be great. We're now got some friends coming out and some people who don't have any idea what's going to hit them. So
I don't know what's going to hit them.
The 12 people that will be with us will know what's going to hit them. The rest of them, you have no idea. It could be great. It could be good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. We're going to have a great
time.
I'm
super excited. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. We got mashed together a little over a year ago, and then we started getting to know each other, and then we started the show in the middle of September, and look at us, like a rocket ship. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in as well. And by the way, just want to say, Eugene Weekly's got their best of nominations out there right now. I would not mind. I'm going to do shameless stuff here right now. Go ahead. There's a little thing that says, favorite radio personalities and stuff like that. Would you go nominate us? Go nominate us on Eugene Weekly so at least we can get some votes.
Yeah, be nice.
All right? If you have fun, if you like listening to the program, go to Eugene Weekly. No pressure at all. We're not keeping track. We're not going to track you or track you down. But that would be nice to do that. And, we're going to be at the M's game tonight. We're going to give away tickets on the last part of the show to one lucky listener, a pair of tickets to join us. And when I say join us, you're going to sit with us at the game. Me and you and the rest of the fam and all the friends that we've got coming out. There you go.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity. But we got to get busy here. We got Jared Mack from, he's not going to be with the guys anymore. It's his last day. And let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673 and welcome in for maybe not his last time, but definitely the last time covering Oregon football and baseball. We are sad here at the Danny and Justin radio program as we welcome back in one more time the Professor, Jared Mack, on his – this is your last day, right?
Yeah, this is my last full day in Eugene. I head out tomorrow morning.
What, the U-Haul's already packed?
We get the U-Haul in a couple hours, and then we're going to pack it all up today and probably sleep in an air mattress and then head out in the morning.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, Jared, this is bittersweet for us. You've been a great friend of our program. We've enjoyed talking baseball with you, and obviously your Boston Red Sox love as you're a Massachusetts native, going back and forth. Mm-hmm. And let's start there. So what do you think the Red Sox in the last part of this season? Are they gonna be pretenders or contenders?
Boy, I hope they're contenders. I would love to see it happen. I have some worries about them and their front line outside of Garrett Crochet and what they could do in the starting pitching staff, and then just kind of the mid-leverage guys in the bullpen. But I think they got the talent and the firepower to do it. Their schedule is a little tough. It starts Thursday against the Yankees, who are a game ahead of them right now. But I've got some confidence in them. It just kind of stinks when, they went on like a 10-game winning streak, and then now they've lost 3 in a row, 1 to the Marlins and 2 to the Baltimore Orioles. So, they kind of play up and down in their competition sometimes, but that means that this weekend might be pretty good for the Sox if they continue to play up to their competition. But I still like the talent they got. I still like it.
Are they going to get solidified at first base?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay.
To be honest, yeah.
I mean, they banked on the big guy who could not just stay healthy, and I just don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. He tore his patellar tendon, so he's like absolutely done for the year.
That's crazy.
So I don't know. It's been by committee for 85-90% of the season so far, and they're still 10 games over 500 and have a playoff spot. So could be worse. Could be a whole lot worse.
Jared Mack, you can follow him, Jared_Mack7 on Twitter. Even though he is going away, he will always be in our hearts, and you can still follow him as he will still be relevant in the sports world. So I'm going to stay on baseball. One more question. I'm going to throw it over to Justin. Rob Manfred came out and talked about expansion and talked about realignment and divisions and things like that. What do you think about that as a baseball purist? Because I think the three of us are baseball purists for the most part. And I don't know, they tinkered with it a little bit with the playoffs, with the DH and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know about this geographical realignment of baseball.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that baseball needs to add expansion teams. Unlike the NBA, where the talent, on every team is really like 12 to 15 players that are legit NBA candidates. Like, I think the NBA needs to expand and add 2 to 4 teams, but I still feel like the MLB is in a pretty good sweet spot. I don't feel like there's too many, there's some teams that are way more stacked than others. I know, on paper, the Dodgers are, but you see it. It's baseball. They're not the best. They don't have the best record in the league. They're not the best team in the NL. So I think it's a little bit more competitive. I've also seen, the mock-ups of what the divisions would look like.
Yeah,
and
so
it just seems that's miserable.
But nobody can agree on them either.
No. I know the East was the Sox, the Yankees, the Mets, and somebody else.
Somebody else
the
really
Blue Jays
good
or something. And it's that's different because the AL Midwest or whatever was the Astros and the Rockies and the Athletics, and you're all right, well, this is an easy division. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I would definitely consider myself a baseball purist, and I just don't see the need to expand yet. I'm sure it'll come one day. I've liked what they've done in years past with the bigger bases, the pitch clock. It's genuinely making games more exciting.
Agreed.
Nobody's really playing for 4 hours anymore like they did back in back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So
although Justin likes the longer games, by the way. He loves the longer games.
I like the longer games.
All right, so go ahead.
I like it too sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's too quick. When I'm at a game and you look up, you're like, oh my God, it's the 6th inning. We're leaving in 45 minutes.
Right.
So
right.
I don't like that, but I like that it's getting people more involved with baseball and watching it. So, but I don't like this.
Well, before we get to more of you, Jared, I'm just curious about what your thoughts are. You talked about a little bit about expansion. What do you think about the expansion potentially of baseball in Portland?
I think it would be good. I'm not sure what the fan base for Portland baseball is. I know that the Mariners are the closest team and that there are plenty of diehard Mariner fans in Portland. I just think, for as many talented high school and college products that Oregon as a state has put out over the last 15 years, it doesn't feel like the audience is necessarily there to solidify having an MLB team. And I've seen the renderings and where they would put it in Portland, and it looks unbelievable, but that's kind of how every rendering looks.
Sure.
And it's always going to look really nice. And that's the whole point of having one of those renderings is to, get somebody to say, yeah, I'll invest in that. But I don't know. I think it would be great because there's it's just the Blazers in terms of professional sports for the Big Four. So it'd be nice to have another Big Four team out there, but they've shown through the Timbers and the Thorns that Portland has had an avid fan base for those teams, and maybe that'll come with baseball, but I'm not sure. There's just not a lot of baseball history in Portland, and
besides the Pickles.
I think that besides the Pickles, of course, which do have a fair following during the summer, but I don't know. I'm indifferent. I just feel like if I was the MLB, I'd go to a different market, if I'm going to be honest with you.
You're leaving us here in Oregon, so you're not going to have the tie of, we could see our favorite teams.
And honestly, you're going to a market that probably is slated to get an MLB franchise in Nashville.
I hope so, yeah. That'd be really, really nice.
Look at you. You can just say, hey, I brought Nashville baseball. How about that? I arrive, and lo and behold, in a couple of years, you have baseball. Look at you, flowing robes and everything as you flow into Tennessee.
So, Jared, on your last full day in Eugene, I want to take it back to the beginning because you've been in Oregon for a long time. We both went to the UO SOJC together. We bumped shoulders when we were there. You graduated in 2020.
Glad you said it that way, by the way.
I'm just curious, what initially actually made you come out to Eugene and to be a Duck?
Question, yeah.
Yeah, no, very good question. Going through like the end of middle school, I became like an Oregon fan. I would stay up late and watch Pac-12 After Dark football or whenever they were on the television. So like basically the start to the end of Marcus Mariota's career, I was fully invested in the Oregon Ducks. And the end of his career was in 2014, so I was a junior in high school at that time. And I just started looking into it, and it was a really good sports business program they had at the University of Oregon. I had this desire, this want to go work for Nike and potentially like help out in designing shoes. And, all of that never came to fruition because I went into journalism instead, and I really enjoyed that. But it really just came down to the fact that, I had a fandom of a team. Most of my family is from the West Coast, so I'm super familiar with the area. None of them lived in Oregon, but I've been through Oregon a couple of times and been to Portland, and seen the university. And I just kind of fell in love with the school every time I went out there. And it became a pretty simple decision. I did like the early application where you apply and September or October, and you find out before New Year's. And I got in November of my senior year, and that was it. That was the only school. That was my number one school coming out of high school. Nobody had ever gone there in my high school's career, or however long my high school has been around. I was the first person to go to the University of Oregon, unsurprisingly, since it's 3,000 miles away. But I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to make my own path. And I feel like I did a pretty good job of that out here, if I'm going to be honest.
Absolutely.
You blazed a great path. Jared Mack, the professor, joining us for one last time officially here on the Danny and Justin radio program as the Oregon football and baseball beat reporter. So obviously, let's go back memory lane. I mean, you mentioned Marcus Mariota, you mentioned, but as you were covering the team, so when you were covering, give us, if you can, and if I just give you the rapid fire, the memory that stands out, either positive, possibly even negative, that stands out for Oregon football and Oregon baseball as you covered them through the years.
It's a good question. There's a lot of really good moments for both of them. I'll start with football. I think my first real positive or first big moment that I think I'll always remember was covering the 2019-2020 Rose Bowl as a senior in college when Justin Herbert ran for 3 touchdowns and Oregon beat Wisconsin.
Oh.
I still just I went to the Rose Bowl this last year, and obviously it wasn't as fun of a game for Oregon fans, but there's just that game is burned into my brain, and just the scenes, the cacophony of sounds when you're getting down onto the field, just implanted in my brain. I think that was the first really big one, that of the Pac-12 championship game in Levi Stadium that year. And then for a couple others, the Oregon versus Washington game up in Seattle 2 years ago, where Michael Penix came back and beat the Ducks. That was one of the best college football games I've ever been to. It was just an absolute hoot and holler with huge punches being thrown.
Yeah.
Comes down to the final seconds. And the roar of the Washington crowd when Camden Lewis's kick missed wide right was surreal, because where we were on the sideline, you could not see where the ball was going. You could just hear the echo of the screams as it was missing wide right from the opposing end zone. And it was just very, very surreal. And then, just the day-to-day, took a little bit longer my walk from the facility today, just because there aren't a lot of places like this in the country for football. And, I was able to go to it, 4 or 5 times a week during the fall for the last couple of years. So that's been great. And I'll finally switch over to baseball. Baseball is a little bit different because there's just not as many highs and lows, compared to the highs of a football game. But every postseason game that I got to cover in person was incredible. The fans at PK Park, the fans at Bluebell Stadium, or Bluebell Park at Texas A&M, just was surreal. But really, for me, it was building the relationships with that team, with the head coaches, with the coaching staff, some of the players, some of the support staff behind the scene. Like, they're all just wonderful individuals, and they helped me so much during my time covering the Ducks. That was probably the biggest highlight of all of that, was just getting to know these guys on a personal level, on a professional level, and just as a young dude coming out here and trying to really make a beat and trying to get people's attention to this program. Like, they were instrumental in helping me throughout all of that. So it's been a great time. It's bittersweet.
Yeah, and bittersweet's a great word to use here. Jared Mack, the professor, joining us. One last ride here on the Danny and Justin radio program as he covered Oregon football and baseball for us, and also sides. Well, we talked about a lot of side stuff as well. I think we talked sandwiches one time. We talked grilling. Jared_Mack7. Yeah, absolutely. We don't take anything seriously on this program unless it's necessary. So, Jared, I mean, coming from the outside as well, I love this perspective because, I was an outsider coming from Illinois here to Oregon when I was 12 years old. I'm a little bit younger. Justin, you as well. I mean, I think there's a lot of transplants here. Right, Alaska by way of like 4 other places as well. So I would just ask this as we close out. What are you going to miss about Eugene, and what would you tell people about Eugene if you get asked, hey, where are you from? And what's it like out there?
Eugene is a lovely place. There's not a lot of places like it. I've been all across the United States and lived in multiple places and have visited multiple places, but Eugene and the Willamette Valley and Portland, I would loop into that a little bit, is just one of a kind. And I'm going to miss a lot about it. I'm going to miss, for me personally, I'm going to miss all my friends that I've made here over the last couple of years. But, just like that you can wake up and just drive out on the road and just see just all the natural beauty, 24/7 is really something I probably have taken for granted. And it's probably something I'm going to miss nearly immediately. I'm driving from Cheyenne, Wyoming to Lincoln, Nebraska in a couple of days. So I'm going to miss it pretty quickly.
Oh, that's a long, dusty road, dude. I've driven that road. Oh, baby.
I-80. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to miss it real quick, but it's a one of a kind thing out here. Everything is a little bit more laid back, and the people are very friendly out here, and it's just it's different. When I've had a couple friends from back east come visit, they realize what I mean by it being different, and it's not in a negative sense or anything like that. But people here beat to their own drum, and I think that's what makes Oregon so much fun and so much different than the rest of the world, where it's just, this is what we do out here, and we love it every single day. So I think I'm going to miss that part of it the most.
Well, we're going to miss you out here, Jared, and we're going to miss your coverage. We're going to miss the things that you brought to this community.
Your sense of humor, putting up with us.
Thank you.
What's next for you as you look forward and you move forward, and we follow you throughout your career?
Is there a next? Do you know?
I don't know what the next is. We are moving down to Nashville because my fiance got a job, and we've made a commitment to each other, and I've made a commitment to her. So we're going to follow through with that. Move closer to home. Hopefully maybe one day I go cover Vanderbilt. But we'll see. I'm keeping my options open and hoping to stay in the communications side of the ball. But maybe we'll stay in sports. Maybe we won't. it's a lot of energy to be in sports, as I'm sure you guys know, and just that you're working 7 days a week. I'm not here to complain or anything like that because I get to work in sports, but so maybe a 9 to 5 doesn't sound too bad every once in a while.
Okay.
But we'll see along the way. But I'm sure I'll get something where I'll have to make an announcement on Twitter or something like that.
Well, you better let us know first before you announce it on Twitter. We won't break the news for you. By the way, you remind me, when you said that about your fiance, I just went back to Goodwill Hunting and just the note that said, I got to go see about a girl. That's exactly what you're doing. And God bless you that you were able to do what you love to do, and hopefully you will be able to reconnect in another level on what you love to do, because these voices and the talent that you bring and the ability, and I saw some of the tweets that were coming out from other folks like Isaac and Ryan and such, that you gave other people a leg up and a chance to do it, even though you're a young man yourself, is a credit to you. So thanks for what you do. I know any way I can help or Justin can help you in your next adventure, please do not hesitate to reach out. I got a lot of connections throughout the country, and I don't have any problem pulling that string for you, Professor. And by the way, we are going to retire. You bet. We're going to retire Professor. Nobody else gets that nickname.
What an honor.
Yes.
First retirement here.
Nobody else. The first retirement nickname. Nobody else gets Professor. You will always be the Professor.
You guys are far too kind. It means the world to me, not only for the retirement, but again, you guys have been wonderful the last however long we've been really on radio for
a year.
2 years now.
No, it's been. See, it seems like a lot longer. It's kind of like a bad relationship. Sometimes it seems like it's a lot longer than it is. But this has been a great relationship. Yeah, just a year. Yep. We'll be celebrating our 1 year anniversary next month. Yeah.
Wow.
Seems
the
like
more you know.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, every time I hop on, I look forward to this. It's nice to just sit down and kind of talk about sports every once in a while, and hopefully people enjoy that as well who are listening. But it's been great, and I can't thank you guys enough for the help that you've brought me over the last year.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. So here you go. We're going to send you off into the sunset. And when we come back, we'll have Brian Jenson from Texas Tech. But, Jared, happy trails to you, buddy, and good luck, and happy wedding and a happy life. I'm sure we'll be hooking up again.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. As we return, Brian Jenson, Texas Tech. We're going to talk a little Red Raider football. They throw tortillas, by the way.
I knew that, yes.
We're going to talk about their tortillas down there in Lubbock, Texas, and figure out the Oregon State and Texas Tech matchup in mid-September. A big road game for the Beavers. We'll have Brian Jenson on next. Danny and Justin rolls on here for a hump day. Coquel Casino Resort, Fox Sports Newport, giving you the ultimate MMA experience. Brawl on the Bay. You can win VIP seats to the action-packed MMA event August 23rd. It's coming up, including exclusive meet and greet with the fighters after the final bell. Relax with a free night stay at the Coquel Casino Resort. Your coastal getaway with all the amenities. You've got until tomorrow. Go to foxsportsnewport.com, foxsportsnewport.com right now. Sign up for Brawl on the Bay. Got to be 21 or over. And all the contest rules are there at Fox Sports Newport. Danny and Justin radio program rolls on live from the Bigfoot Beverages studio in Eugene and Newport. Let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673 and welcome in the voice of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. It's Brian Jenson joining us up a little north, not really deep in the heart of Texas, in Lubbock, Texas. Brian, thanks for joining us, friend. Last year, 8-5. Joey McGuire is going to be entering his fourth season. Yeah, 23-16. So let's start there. First, thanks for being on the program. And secondly, is Joey McGuire this shot of adrenaline this program's needed? Because it's been a lot of down years before Mr. McGuire got there.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, he came in and has absolutely turned the program on its ear and has done so far everything that you could imagine that you could do right. He came in, he had a very, very good first year, similar to the late Mike Leach when he came in and took the program to a different level. Well, McGuire did the almost exact same thing in his first season. And then in these first three seasons, he's equaled the same kind of ladder approach of being a little bit better each year. And then with this off season, And the transfer portal and the things that they have done with getting players in here to compete for a championship, he pretty much owns Lubbock right now.
So let's start there. That portal has been key to what Joe McGuire is trying to build, but I want to start on the lines, man. That offensive line, the defensive line, you guys are pushing up against the ceiling there to arguably say you've got probably a couple of the best groups in the Big 12.
Yeah, I would say they definitely have the best, on paper, the best defensive line in the Big 12. I mean, you're talking about bringing the number 1 rated returning edge rusher in and David Bailey from Stanford. You're talking about Lee Hunter, who was one of the top defensive tackles, now nose guard for Tech, 3-time all Big 12 guy. You bring those 2 guys in along with a couple others that were high prospects. That's just fantastic look. Plus, you've got some great players that played last year that are now your backup players. So the depth at defensive line is incredible. And the offensive line you mentioned, I mean, again, you've got 3 guys, maybe 4, that are going to be starting that are stepping in for the first time at Tech, but have played in many other locations and have great numbers behind them. So, it really looks good. And it's just one of those things, how quickly can they gel? It's a big question anytime you've got a bunch of players coming from, other institutions and other programs as to whether or not they mesh. The one thing that's been really impressive about Coach McGuire and their philosophy of bringing players in, he's got a GM that does all of this for him. It's almost like an NFL front office. And his job is to go out there and make sure that the players fit the culture just as much as they fit what they want to do on the field. So hopefully that translates into them getting together very quickly.
One of the guys that was brought in and was supposed to run behind that offensive line was running back Quentin Joyner, who unfortunately just went down with a knee injury.
You had to bring that up already?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry
Brian,
about that.
See, that's just that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to throw that on Justin.
That's rough.
It's rough. It's 7.5 yards a carry last year for USC. He was expected to play a big role for this team. Obviously, this late into the into fall camp and everything, not going to be able to make any roster moves. How is this running game built behind him to sort of take on that injury and move forward?
Well, the great news, if there is any, when you have a player that's injured like that, he had an ACL, he's going to be out for the year, is that coming into the season, Coach McGuire had slotted this running back group to be a running back by committee. So he had 3 guys, maybe 4, that were going to rotate through there with Joyner starting out. But Jacoby Williams, who will now take over the starting role, had a terrific game in the bowl game last year, over 100 yards, and broke off a big run for a touchdown, a guy that's got great speed. They really like him. Had they not been able to pull in a Joyner, I don't know that they'd have gone after another running back. They wanted one that was the level of Joyner, but they really like Williams. Cameron Dickey, another guy that is a good power runner for the Red Raiders. He will get some playing time. And then they've got a third guy, Adam Hill, who is just one of these guys that he's going to put his shoulder pads and his helmet in there and just blow you away. And that's 3 different styles of running backs. And with Joyner in that 4th, it would have been a really interesting rotation. It's still going to be kind of interesting, I think, and he's still going to go by committee from what I understand.
And sharing the backfield with those guys is quarterback Baron Morton, back for another season. He's a guy that's sort of progressed throughout his career. Last year, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Is he kind of primed to take another step in this offense this season?
There's no question about it. There will be no committee here as long as Morton is healthy, and that's the big thing. He had shoulder surgery right after the season, didn't even play in the bowl game because he wanted to go ahead and have the surgery. He played last year with pain. He's played with difficult injuries throughout his career. This time, at this moment, at least, I'm knocking on wood because you just mentioned Joyner, so I'm knocking on wood here, but he appears to be 100% for the first time since probably when he was a freshman. And his arm strength looks fantastic, and there is a lot of excitement around Baron Morton.
It's Brian Jenson, the voice of the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, joining us on the Danny and Justin radio program. Let's stay on the offense and who Morton will be throwing to. Josh Kelly is gone, but that core is loaded. Caleb Douglas, Coy Eskin, 109 catches, 13 touchdowns. Reggie Virgil comes from Miami University. He comes off a 41-catch season, averaging 20 yards per grab. And then I haven't even talked about the tight ends yet. So Morton's going to have some targets to throw to, even though, and I'll just say to dovetail off of that, Morton's probably been a little bit overlooked, I would say, even in the Big 12, even in your own conference, as one of those kids that can really explode this year.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be another thing that's really going to push him a little bit harder than even he would otherwise. He's one of those guys that puts a chip on his shoulder. He's going to play hard through it. But you're right about the receiving core. They added Reggie Virgil, who they're really excited about, and Caleb Douglas is taking another step. He, of course, came from Florida a couple years ago. And then Micah Hudson is back, too. He was a five-star recruit for Tech that left and went to A&M but came right back, didn't ever play for the Aggies, and he's back ready to go, looks stronger than ever. So, yeah, they're really excited about that. The tight ends, they brought in Terrence Carter from Louisiana, and excited about the fact that they've got depth there as well. So offensively, I mean, Mack Leftwich comes in with a pretty good resume as well. He was at Texas State before that. Incarnate Word had a quarterback named Cam Ward. You might recognize that name.
I might recognize that name.
Yeah, offensive coordinator that's, has put some great numbers up, and they expect nothing but great numbers from this Tech offense.
So let's move over to the defensive side of the football, and obviously there were some things to improve last year, averaging 460 yards given up, 35 points a game. Only Tulsa allowed more passing yards. But even though giving up that 35 points or more 8 times, in the transfer portal, wow, did you guys fix some things. David Bailey from Stanford, Romello Height, UTEP, Lee Hunter, UCF. I could go on and on, but I'll let you talk about it. There's a lot more that is proven from other schools that needs to mesh into this program. So tell us and give us an overview of how the defense is shaping up.
Well, this is going to be a really interesting season for defense because, as you mentioned, you're coming from a defense that, oh my gosh, they were holes in the dike, right? So you have nothing but upside to begin with. However, you have nothing but new names across the front and many new names in the back. So you have a new starting cornerback, new starting safety, and I'm talking by new to the program. 4 new defensive linemen to the program, starters. So you get all of those guys. You've moved Mike Dingle, who was a guy that you really felt like was going to be a strong guy at linebacker. You've moved him to what they call the star position, which is a rover position, to try to get in on the quarterback or drop back with a tight end or whatever the case might be. And then they've got Jacob Rodriguez coming back, who's, to all accounts, he's on all the preseason All-America lists at linebacker. So, and he is a returner. He's the solid guy, the captain, the guy that they're going to expect to be, the centerpiece of that defense. But now he's got so many stars around him, which he's going to be looking around going, where'd these guys come from? Because last year he was the guy, right? And now he's going to be a guy with all these other guys. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they all mesh.
And Jacob Rodriguez, a really interesting guy. Glad you brought him up. Looks like he's had a really interesting career over at Virginia. He looked like he was a running back. He's come over to Texas Tech. He's now on defense. Obviously broke out last season, huge season, now set up for this season. Just can you talk about his career and his progression at Texas Tech and just how much he's going to mean for this defense because of what you just said? There's so many transfers. He's a guy that's been there before. How key is he going to be to get all these guys to mesh together?
Yeah, he is the key, and just because of what you said, he's going to be counted on to make sure everyone's in the right position. He's going to be counted on to be calling the defenses, making sure that everybody knows what's coming and what's expected of them. He's also he's a high intensity guy, but the really interesting thing about Jacob Rodriguez, he's not the toughest guy in his household, or let me rephrase that, the toughest person in his household.
There you go.
His wife is a combat helicopter pilot.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Brian Jenson, the voice of the Red Raiders, joining us. Brian, how many years has this been? Is this 25 for you or 26?
26, yes, sir.
Man, oh, man, we've been running through the gauntlet. Hunsaker's 26, I think, now, or 25. And then we had, who else did we have? Well, who we had the other day? I mean, I can't remember. I mean, you guys, there's like this longevity in the Big 12. It's freakish with you guys, how long you get to stay there. But you do it very well. You're a credit to the industry. I want to talk about the firsts that you guys are going to be experiencing as the football team. Arkansas Pine Bluff to start out the season a little over a week from now. Then Kent State. You get to start at home with 3 straight: Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State, and then at Utah. There is only one other team that you have seen once, and that was back in 1959, is the Beavers of Oregon State. So talk about how important, how important is the first 4 games for the schedule to kind of set the tone for the Red Raiders in this season?
Well, it's huge because of what we talked about with all of these new players coming in. So, I think Coach McGuire did himself a service in making sure that he had a couple of teams that there should be no question they're going to go out and win.
Right.
But that he should be able to play a lot of players. He should be able to get guys, keep them fresh, not wear them down, and then absolutely see the development of the team together in the first couple weeks. Then you get Oregon State coming in, and now you step up a level, and you go, okay, now we've seen what we can do against those other guys. Let's see what we can do against a team that is going to be competitive with us, and that's Oregon State. Mm-hmm. And what that's going to then allow them to do is go, okay, if we can come off of this 3-0, if we can come off of this 3-0, we go then to our conference opener at Utah. And that's going to be the first road game, the first conference test, all those things. And Utah, is going to be sitting there waiting on it.
Oh, yeah.
So he's really done a great job of front-loading the schedule in a way that should help him build these guys into one cohesive unit before the games that count the most hit.
Oregon State's obviously going to go over there to Lubbock, Texas. Can you just talk about that home field advantage that Texas Tech has? Because they've just been known as one of those teams that's like you don't want to go there to play.
Yeah, I think Oregon realized that a couple of years ago when the Ducks came in. It was a great game between Tyler Shuck and Bo Nix and others. But I think they realized when they came in, it's a tough place to play because the fans there are right on top of you for one thing. They're very energetic. The tortilla thing is a real thing.
Can we stop right there? Where did that come? You got to tell us because people on the West Coast don't know about this. Where did that come?
There's a conflict of stories as to how it actually started. Tortillas are, I don't know if you know this, but one of the great tortillas of all times was developed in Lubbock, Texas. So
did not know that.
Might have been part of the deal. I don't know. It was, Pedro's. But anyway, there's a new rule now in the Big 12. And the new rule is if anything is thrown on the field, the first time there's a warning, the second time there's a warning, the third time it's a 15-yard penalty. So there is now and there was a vote by the Big 12 athletic directors on this rule, and it was 15-1. And you can imagine who the one was.
Absolutely.
So now there is a big campaign going on in Lubbock, 15-1, and it's we're going to throw tortillas are going to happen the first time. We're going to get a warning. And then when we kick off again, it'll probably happen again. Second time, we're going to get a warning. Then it'll be interesting to see how the Big 12 and how Texas Tech handles it after that, because that's part of the lore of coming to one of the games in Lubbock.
So, and sorry I cut you off there. So talk about again, I've been at that atmosphere, and I was all the way back when the Pirate was there, and I'll tell you, it gets loud. The fans are right on top of you, very knowledgeable. I mean, Texas is historic in terms of their high school football support and how the kids come up through program after program. So a very knowledgeable crowd as well, very savvy. So talk about how hard it is, I mean, and the way that noise generates in that stadium.
Well, since you've been there, there's been a lot of buildup in that stadium. So the south end, which used to be pretty much open, just had the big double T on the roof, has now been built up, and there's offices and there's just beautiful seating way up high, and all kinds of suites and fun stuff there. And then on the other side too, now we've got a complete bowl as far as the sound is concerned. It stays within the stadium now, which is great. And on that south end, they're literally right behind the goal line, or right behind the goal post. So it's really loud there. And then now we've got better sound systems, lighting, all that stuff. The unfortunate thing for Tech and the unfortunate thing for Oregon State, it's a day game. If it was a night game, whole different ball game.
Yep.
They turn the lights on there. I'm telling you, for some reason, I guess because the students have a chance to get,
Pre-game, they can pre-game a little bit, is what you're saying?
They can pre-game a lot. They get lubricated enough to where they really go wild. But 2:30 game, that'll be medium.
All right. Brian, have a great season. Looking forward. It looks like you got a lot of optimism and are going to have a lot of fun calling the Red Raiders this year.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Really appreciate the opportunity to join you guys today. Thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing the Beavers come to town.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll have you back the week of the game, so take care of yourself and that family of yours.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right. There he goes. The great Brian Jenson, the voice of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. That game for Oregon State is going to be a huge one on the 13th.
Yeah.
That is huge on the road because it'll be their first road test as well.
Absolutely.
So when we come back, close out the program, you want to join Justin and I at the M's game? We're going to give you an opportunity to do that. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to sit with us and our families. Well, my family, it's Justin's adopted family, and some of our friends as well at the ball game tonight. You get to listen to us. You can have to stay and listen to us sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game when we come back on the Danny and Justin radio program. Tomorrow we're out at Laurelwood Golf Course for our regular Weekend Eve in the Wood extravaganza. Justin and I will be out there live and also on YouTube. Well, live and YouTube, and also on the air. So if you want to come out and join us for a pint, please do between 2 and 3. The fastest 60 minutes takes it on the road. Last couple of weeks in the summertime for us, when we go to September, we will pick one. I think we're going to do it on a. You're going to hate me saying this. I think we're going to do it on a Friday for a big away game. Because we're going to just do it once a month.
Okay.
I know it stresses you out because Friday is game, or Friday Night Live for you. Yeah, game day is Saturdays. But I will take care of all the other stuff, and all you do is just sit there, show up, and you bring your pretty little face and talk, and then you can just leave. Still gives you plenty of time.
That sounds good.
All right. So tonight at PK Park, the M's, who are again on another win streak, they beat the Hops last night, and I think they're 10 games now up in the second half, Northwest League. They will take on the Hops again tonight. We will be there in attendance 6:35 for the first pitch, and we want you to join us. So I've got one pair of tickets left of my allotment that I will give away to the fifth caller on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline right now at 541-343-5673. Laura will answer the phone out there in front. The thing is I'm going to need your name and number so I can contact you so we can make sure you get your tickets. So fifth caller right now, pair of tickets to the M's game tonight. It's also Wild Weenie Wednesday, and it's Pets at the Park or Paws at the Park. So you can bring your furry animal as well, and you get like $3 off your ticket if you're going to go buy your tickets. But I'm going to give you a pair. Caller number 541-343-5673. If you call before the end of the show, we'll mention you on the air. Again, I said about tomorrow, we're out at the Laurelwood. It is my birthday. I'm not saying how old I am. I do share a birthday, by the way, with Oregon women's basketball assistant coach Jerice Freeman, which I didn't know. So she and I share a birthday.
Very nice.
I thought that was kind of cool that I found that out. Twitter is a wonderful thing sometimes. So let's see. What else we do? Oh, my daughter painted me a very nice. I'm going to show this to you. This is great radio. I'm going to show this to you. My daughter painted this picture.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Of her and I that I took when we were at Wicked on Broadway. When we were in the seats.
Pastel?
It's paint. I don't know what pastel. It's paint. It's like, I don't know if it's acrylic or what.
I don't know. It looks good though.
But I'm like giving her.
It's almost like Van Gogh.
I'm giving her the side eye, which I don't know if that's what I didn't see what the picture was that she referenced, but yeah, she's very talented. And let's see what else we got going on. Oh, I got my dad joke. I got a special dad joke one coming up as well. So other people that were born on this date: Demi Lovato, Andrew Garfield, the actor, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is a good one. I can't believe he's 42.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, He's got the receding hairline thing going on right now.
Does he?
Yes, he does. Very high forehead.
Forehead, yeah. Well, it happens.
Fred Durst is 55 today. All these people, by the way, are younger than me.
Todd Helton,
baseball.
correct?
Not currently, though. He's retired, right?
Hall of Famer, yes.
Hall of Fame. All right, okay. Amy Adams, the actress, love Amy Adams. Very good. Going through these. And you know what's interesting? There's a bunch of like Instagram folks. I am not mentioning their names. Robert Plant. Oh, Robert Plant. 77 years old. Of course, Led Zeppelin.
Pretty good.
One of the best rock bands ever.
Isaac Hayes,
voice of Chef. I mean, he resurrected his career with South Park when they decided to cast him as the voice of Chef.
Well, and apparently, too, there was rumors that he was like angry at them, and that's why he left. But it turns out it actually wasn't the case at all. He loved the program till the end.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed.
Unfortunately, he passed away.
Ke Huy Quan, am I saying that right? Short round. And won an Oscar this past, I think it was last year, won the Oscar. And then Al Roker.
That's pretty good.
I love that. Al Roker and I. And see, do you believe in the horoscope thing?
Not really, but
Okay.
I it's fun. That's what I'll say. I'm not a hater, but I'm not like the biggest believer either.
Yeah, neither am I. Connie Chung, by the way, also born on this day. Remember Connie Chung?
Nope.
News anchor, married to Maury Povich. Do you know that name?
I've heard the name.
Okay.
Maury Povich.
So, yeah, I'm not a big believer in the whole Zodiac thing.
H.P. Lovecraft?
Wow.
That's pretty good.
So, I do know that Wilt Chamberlain is born tomorrow. It was celebrate his birthday tomorrow.
We have to.
Of course.
The greatest scorer in NBA history, potentially.
And today is also National Radio Day.
It is National Radio Day.
Yesterday
I found
was
out yesterday.
National Potato Day was yesterday, and we were so slammed yesterday, I didn't get to it. In fact, we didn't get to half of the stuff we wanted to talk about yesterday.
No.
But we have a little bit more time today, obviously, because right now we're talking about everybody else who shares a birthday with me, like really self-centered right now. I'm very uncomfortable doing this. I'm just telling you right now. So are you getting, I want to say anxious, are you getting, well, yeah, I'm going to say, are you getting anxious about singing tonight in front of a bunch of other people that you don't know?
A little bit. Like, I'm not feeling too bad about it.
Not like I want to exacerbate that.
I feel good because we're going to be together. If I was by myself, I'd probably get a little bit more nervous. I did like a little practice at my... No, you're not going to bail on me now. I did a little practice in my room earlier today, trying to make sure I have all the words.
We need to talk after the show. I had something else go.
I hope not. No, I hope not. But no, I'm excited. I mean, you grow up a Cubs fan and you watch WGN, you watch the broadcasts, and being able to sing the seventh inning stretch it's an honor. And it doesn't matter that it's not for the Cubs. I'm very honored to be able to go and lead the stretch for the Emeralds because. That's just what we do, Danny.
Yeah, and I'll just want to say as well as I run back the tape in my head, did we kind of force ourselves on Matt Dante?
100%. 100%.
We didn't give him a choice. It's like it's kind of like you bring your best friend over to your house and it's dinner time, and you go in front of your mom, in front of your best friend, and say, "Hey, can Tommy stay for dinner?" And it's like she's not going to say no. Of course she's going to say yes.
Of course.
But then she'll tell you afterwards, don't you ever do that to me again. Do not ask me in front of your friend.
It's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Always.
Even though you're asking permission.
Always learn that. All right, let's do dad joke.
Oh, a joke!
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes!
So, Baby J, I've been trying to break up with an optician recently. It's really hard.
Okay.
Every time I tell her I can't see her anymore, she moves an inch closer and says, "How about now?"
1 or 2.
How about now? Right?
Can you see
left,
me now?
Number 1. Number 2. Right? Left? Number 1. Number 2. All right, tomorrow on the program, we're out at Laurelwood. Don't have a guest scheduled as of now, but I know we're going to keep rolling around through the first month and a week of the college football season between Oregon and Oregon State. I know next week we've got Dave Innett from Northwestern. We have a big surprise head coach, big-time head coach going to be on the program next week.
I think you're going to like that one.
I think people are really going to like that one. So put a smile on your face, someone else's. They deserve it, so do you. Hopefully we'll see you at PK Park tonight in full dress uniforms for Justin and I singing the seventh inning stretch. God bless. Be well. Peace.